Hello and welcome to another regular everyday normal golfer video. In today's video I'm playing at the links at Gettysburg, located in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania on October 18th, 2023. Today I'm playing from the white tees. As you go through the video you'll notice that this course really isn't that forgiving, requires a lot of precision off the tee, which is the main reason I chose not to play the blues and instead play the whites, which from the white tees, the yardage is 6,277 yards. So let's get started. I did not get the chance to film the first hole because I had to play through a group, but the first hole is a par 4, 343 yard hole, which requires kind of a shortish tee shot. Off the tee, I hit 4-iron to the middle of the fairway and a pitching wedge to the green, but then I proceeded to 3-putt for 5. But all in all, not a bad start as I hit the ball pretty solidly on that hole. Hole 2 is a 372 yard par 4 dogleg to the right. As you see in the tee shot here, I hit my 3-wood pretty solid, but I lost it a little bit to the right. It was actually a little bit lucky that it stayed in play. Did shorten the hole quite a bit, but not where I wanted to end up. For my second shot, I was just looking to hit something solid and get it over the trees to the right and get it up somewhere near the green. And even though it wasn't the greatest strike, I'll take this shot, as I ended up just short a little bit on the fringe, or just off the fringe in the front. This is what I had left for my par putt on the second hole, and honestly, when I hit this, I thought this was dead center of the cup, and at the last minute, it just kind of eked out a little bit to the right and had to settle for a 2-putt bogey. Hole 3 is a 160 yard par 3. It's down the hill, probably 20 to 25 feet lower than the teeing area. Hit a solid shot, ended up a bit short, hit the front edge of the green and spun back a tiny bit, and I had to chip up and hopefully save my par.
A little short, hit the leaves, but I didn't hit it good either.
Here I was using a gap wedge to run this chip up, and it wasn't the horrible chip. Gave myself a good look at par, probably about 5 feet or so. I wasn't able to make the par putt and had to settle for a bogey. That putting stroke on the par putt really wasn't that good. I pushed it from the very beginning. Hole 4 is a 457 yard par 5, so not really that long of a hole as it in terms of a par 5. My thought process here was try to hit it high over those pine trees right in front of me and get it down a reasonable distance down the fairway, so I had a chance to go at the green in 2. I hit a really good drive here and ended up in great condition for a chance to reach the green in 2. For my second shot, I was probably about 180 yards out, right in the middle of the fairway. Again, sorry for the camera position, I didn't get the ball in the frame. I didn't really hit a solid shot as I pushed a low 6-iron out to the right, but I was fairly close to the green after this shot, and I was hoping to maybe get it up and down for birdie. This chip was probably could have been better than it ended up. I think it hit the edge of the fringe and it made it roll out a lot. And here's my birdie putt. And this camera angle is horrible. I'm not sure what I was thinking in this case. Probably if I hit a little bit harder, it was headed right for the hole. But I had to settle for a par, my first par of the day, which was a tap in, and I'll take that any day. Hole 5 is a short par 4, 337 yards. I just took a 3-wood here, and I absolutely hit this right down the middle. A lot of days I'm either hit my 3-wood really well or really poorly. Today I hit overall my 3-wood pretty well, and this 3-wood ended up right in the middle of the fairway. Probably had about 110, 120 yards left for my second shot. For my second shot, I hit a pretty decent gap wedge and gave myself a good look at birdie in this case. I mean, it's about pin high, 20 feet away, so it was a little to the right. But overall, I'll take that shot. Another green in regulation. I did make the birdie putt, but I had a nice tap in for par. So that's 2 pars in a row. Hole 6 is a pretty straightforward par 3, 129 yards. Just hitting a 9-iron here, trying to hit something solid. Ending up hitting the front edge of the green. I think this one spun back a tiny bit also. I was either just on the front edge or just on the fringe for my second shot. All right, my birdie putt. This is not one of those putts you think you're going to make. I was probably, even though I said 40 feet in the logo, I think it's probably more like 50, 55 feet. I was just trying to get something up near the flag and close.
Not gonna lie, I thought I hit that like crap, and definitely ended up way better than I thought. It almost went in. Got a little tap in for par.
So hole 7 is a 560-yard par 5, and there is literally nowhere to go but in the fairway on this hole. I was trying to hit a drive that was a high cut, kind of shape it around the water to the right. When I hit it, I thought I was going to be in great shape, and as I was watching it, I thought it still was in good shape, and I think I literally came up maybe a yard or 2 yards short of getting over the water. So I took a drop out here. I was going to hit 3, just trying to hit something, put it back in play, and honestly, things just fell apart, went off the rails here. And the camera falling over twice is just indicative of how this hole went.
Dude, come on, man. It's twice.
So I have a 3 hybrid. So I think when I dropped, I had a decent lie, slightly below my feet, but nothing I shouldn't have been able to handle. And that shot, which is my third shot, I barely hit it, just right in the water. So I took another drop, just hitting 5 in this case. And again, just trying to hit something, not trying to get it to the green, just trying to put something in play, up the fairway a bit, close to the 150. That one I topped, not quite as bad as the first one, but it didn't make it over the water. So now at this point, I'm hitting 7.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
So at this point, I'm hitting, oh, what am I hitting? I'm hitting 8. So I grabbed a 5 iron. I really am just trying to hit something solid, get it close to the green, and maybe get up and down to save a 10. And I know, I think my handicap's between, like, it's not official, but it was between 11 and 13. So I think the highest score I can take for handicap purposes is a 7. But there was nobody behind me pushing me, so I just kept playing it out to see what I would get. Here I'm hitting 9, and I want to try to chip this up and maybe one putt and get a quote-unquote double par and just get out of there. So that hole was obviously bad. Didn't get up and down and had to settle for an 11.
God dang it.
Hole 8 is a short par 4, one that requires a good drive. If you do decide to hit driver, which I did, because if you hit a good drive, you actually get really, really close to the green. Even though I ended up in the middle of the fairway, I didn't hit this drive great. Caught it on the toe a bit, a lot of hook spin on it. So I was nowhere close to the green, but at least I was in the fairway and had a short-ish pitch into the green for my second shot. When I hit this chip, I honestly thought it was going to be really, really close to the flag, but it ran out a bit past the hole, and I had about 7 feet to come back for a birdie. And this was probably my best look at birdie so far today. And while I hit a good putt, I thought it had a good chance to go in. It just slid off to the right, and I had a tap-in par. But I'll take it after that. After the previous hole is a good bounce-back par to get me going to number 9. Number 9 is a 368-yard par 4, up the hill a little bit, trouble to the left, and some bunkers to the right. Even though I hit the drive fairly solid, I actually hit it a little bit fat. I hit the ground first with my driver and ended up in the rough to the left. I didn't have a great lie in the rough, so my thought process was just to try to hit something solid, get it up near the green. I didn't think I could reach the green, at least not easily, and I ended up in the bunker to the left. So my bunker shot was okay. Still had a good, 15 feet or so to save par. And as I look at this putt, it just wasn't a good putting stroke, and I had to settle for bogey. And I ended the front 9 with a 46, and if you count for equitable stroke control, it was a 42. Hole 10 was a 366-yard par 4, pretty much straight away, slight dog leg left, just hitting 3 hybrid off the tee to put something in play. To be honest, I almost missed that shot. It hit really far on the toe, so I was lucky to be in the fairway, but I was a long way out.
I hit that on the toe. Almost missed.
I was still a long way out on my second shot. Just wanted to hit something solid, get it up near the green.
son of a bitch, man.
I wasn't too happy with that second shot, but at least I was up, still in the fairway, and had a reasonable pitch left to the green. I just wanted to hit the green slightly to the right of the flag and at least get myself a chance at par, maybe. So I reached the green and probably had about 15 to 20 feet for par. There was a lot of break on that par putt, and unfortunately it ran out quite a bit, and I wasn't able to make the comebacker to save my par. It was about a 4-footer, and I just slid it by the hole and had a 3-putt double bogey on this hole. So hole 11 is a down the hill 345-yard par 4 dogleg to the right. And in the past, I can remember always hitting 3-wood, but never really finding the fairway or not having a good shot in. This time I took 4-iron, hit it solid, and was right in the middle of the fairway. So I probably need to be more mindful of just trying to get it in play instead of getting it down there too far. This shot was a pitching wedge from about 140 yards, and when I hit this shot, I thought it was right on the flag. And I mean, honestly, I might have a tap in, but obviously I didn't hit it that solid. I ended up short of the green. This is a pretty straightforward chip, and just tried to focus on the basics here and the fundamentals, and I hit a good chip. Unfortunately, here too, this ball ended up quite a bit shorter than I thought. It was going to run out a bit more. Still had about 10 feet or so for my par putt, and unfortunately, I missed this par putt and had a 2-putt bogey.
Man, I can't make a putt today. I pulled that from the beginning.
So hole 12 is a 154-yard par 3. And although not a terribly long hole, it's definitely demanding. It's all carry to the green. Hit a solid 9-iron, just a little bit short. But I was happy to be on land and have a birdie putt.
It's still short. Could have made it.
So even though this was a green in regulation, I had a really long birdie putt. I was happy to get up close to the green and pretty much have a tap-in par putt for this par 3. So at the beginning of the video, I mentioned how this course is pretty tough and that you have to really be precise off the tee. And here's a long par 4, 416 yards with trouble left and trouble right. So you really don't have a lot of options. And luckily I hit a decent drive to the right side of the fairway. But these holes like this are hard, and this is from the white tees. It's only worse. I mean, there's 2 more tees behind me. So this is all about hitting some solid golf shots. So I was in the fairway, but I probably should have hit more club here. I hit a 7-iron, and see where the red stake is. There, I put that in there. There's a water that juts out that far, so I was a little bit lucky that I just missed the water because I was short of the green. And in this case, I had a pretty straightforward chip. Just landed on the green, let it run out a little bit. And I was within 2 feet, pretty much gave me range, and I tapped in and made my par putt. So on this hole, I'll take a par any day. So in my mind, hole 14 is almost a mirror of hole 13. There's trees right and water left. The only difference is it's just longer now to par 5. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hit the fairway with my drive. Honestly, I didn't know I kind of probably was not sure what to play there. I ended up hitting a draw where I probably should have hit a cut, and so I had to drop. And right now I'm hitting 3. Again, just trying to put something in play. And actually, this is probably a 6-iron that I hit a good shot and hit it in the fairway. And I have a decent distance pitch shot left to go into the green. So for my 4th shot, I'm hitting pitch and wedge. Thought process is just hit something solid, get it on the green, at least give myself a chance at a par putt, and worst case, have a bogey. My shot came up a bit short, still had about 25, 30 feet or so, but I hit a decent putt and was able to save bogey despite hitting it in the water.
Well, I did save a 6, even with one in the water.
So hole 15's no slouch either. There's really not a lot of room to mess up here either. Water short and left and trees to the right. It's a 161-yard par 3. I'm hitting 8-iron, and although I hit the ball super solid, I definitely pull hooked that one a little bit and ended up in the drink again. So I had to go up to the green, take a drop, and I'm going to be hitting 3. So my thought process here is to just make a solid chip, and maybe I can make a 4 and save bogey. Unfortunately, I missed my 6-foot bogey putt and tapped in for double bogey 5 on this par 3. I feel like hole 16, which is a par 4, 393-yard hole, gives you a little bit of a reprieve off the tee, as there's just grass left and right, so there's not a lot of trouble left or right. So just hit a solid drive, try to get something in the fairway. As the second shot has a forced carry over a ravine or a stream or whatever. Hit a good drive in this case, and I'm hitting 8-iron from the middle of the fairway. Pulled it a little bit, but still ended up on the green. If you look at this fairway, here's just an aside. The fairways here are usually in great shape. It was a really dry summer, and it's unfortunate a lot of little grass areas dried out, and there are a lot of bare spots. I was happy that I gave myself another good look at birdie, and let's see how this goes.
Can you make one of them? That's a birdie.
Hole 17 is a pretty long par 4, 433 yards. Apologize, the tracer didn't work out great on this hole because the tee box was super narrow in that I couldn't get the camera too far behind my stance. I did pull my drive a little bit, but at least I hit the fairway. Had about 170, 165 yards in. I'm hitting a 6-iron here up to an elevated green. And I don't know what happens. That was just a terrible, terrible swing, and took a big old chunk of grass out, but this seems to happen at least once or 2 times every round. And these are kind of just throwaway shots, which are really unfortunate. And if I can work these out of my game, I'll definitely score a lot better. But even though I hit a crappy shot, I always try to fix my ball marks, or my divots, excuse me. Well, divots and ball marks. That miss at least put me up in the fairway. I have a probably about 50 yards or so. Just hitting. I'm going to hit a lob wedge, and hit this right where I was aiming. Sorry again, the tracer didn't work out due to the angle of everything, and I was too close with the camera. So gave myself a good look at par, and really trying real hard to make this, trying to grind it out. Unfortunately, this just slid by, and I had to settle for a bogey 5. But that's what those garbage shots in the fairway, like my second shot, we can blame it on that.
So close.
So 18 is a great finishing hole, par 5, 454 yards. So it's not terribly long, but it's another typical links at Gettysburg style hole where there's trouble right, trouble left. So instead of hitting driver, this time I just hit a 4-iron off the tee and hit it super solid and ended up right in the middle, which has kind of been a theme for today. I took a lot of irons off the tee, and every time I think I was able to hit fairway. On this case, there's water right, water left, trees left. Didn't go for this green again, and instead just tried to put something in play, and I hit a 6-iron up into the fairway, leaving me about a 90 or 95 yards into the green for my third shot. And in this case, took a sand wedge, hit it solid, and gave myself a good birdie chance. Unfortunately, I hit while hitting a good putt, it didn't fall, and I had a tap-in par. But honestly, I would take that as when I've played this hole in the past, it's easy to get in trouble and have a high score. So a back nine was another 42 for a grand total of 88, or if you account for the equitable stroke control, I would have had 7 on that hole where I scored an 11. That would have been a 84. So hope you enjoyed today's video. Please do those things like and comment and subscribe. And thanks for watching.